and welcome back to our channel. My name is Daria and I'm a part of the ExactPro research team. At ExactPro, we build software to test software. Do check out our website exactpro.com if you want to learn more about us. You can also subscribe to this channel and smash that bell button to make sure you see all the new videos. And we have a lot of those coming up. In the previous video, we introduced you to A4Q's new AI and software testing certification. We talked about some of the major challenges surrounding AI at this level of development of the technology. We also compared this exam to ISTQB's foundation level curriculum. So check out our previous video if that's the information you're looking for. Today, we will start reviewing the first of the 3 chapters of the certification. This chapter is entitled Key Aspects of AI. We will make sure to put the links to the syllabus in the description below so you can easily find and download the document we're discussing. At the outset, it's worth saying that all sections of the syllabus are examinable except for the introduction. So the links and references to external resources that you see in the text are not examinable, but are undoubtedly recommended for reading. So let's dig deeper into Chapter 1. This chapter gives a high-level representation of the following topics. What are human intelligence and artificial intelligence, AI history, symbolic AI and sub-symbolic AI, some ML algorithms in more detail, as well as applications and limits of AI. Today, we'll concentrate on the first 2 sections. So, what is human intelligence and what is artificial intelligence? In 1983, Howard Gardner came up with the theory of multiple intelligences that has since been expanded. In this theory, intelligence is defined as an ability or a set of abilities that permits an individual to solve problems or fashion products that are of consequence in a particular cultural setting. In other words, intelligence is people's natural inclination or ability to engage with the world and affect it in their own unique way. Currently, 9 types of intelligences have been agreed upon. And while we'll look at the list, we'll also give you some examples of possible vocations that would allow a person to harness and nurture their particular type of intelligence in a good way. The first one is musical rhythmic. Obvious applications would include being a musician, a songwriter, a sound editor, a conductor, and so on. Number 2 is visual spatial. Its applications could include being an architect, a graphic designer, a pilot, a truck driver, or an urban planner. Number 3 is verbal linguistic. This can include taking any kind of post where you need to address your audience. It includes politics, teaching, journalism, writing, broadcasting. It also obviously includes linguistics and professional translation. The 4th one is logical mathematical intelligence. People with this type of intelligence could go into accounting, law, computer programming, physics, statistics, etc. Number 5 is bodily kinesthetic. This intelligence implies being good at sports, so one could be an athlete or a coach, but they could also become a firefighter, a carpenter, a mechanic, etc. Number 6, interpersonal intelligence. This can be leveraged in social work, sales, counseling, management positions, among other fields. Number 7 is intrapersonal intelligence. One could become a philosopher, a psychologist, a career counselor, an entrepreneur, and so on. Number 8 is naturalistic intelligence, which enables one to be an animal trainer, a conservationist, a marine biologist, a veterinarian. You get the idea. Last but not least is existential intelligence. This can be leveraged in being a philosopher or a meditation instructor. You might have noticed that within one type, intelligences seem to overlap. For example, an architect has to be as good at numbers and attention to detail as they are at visual thinking. Or being a veterinarian is as much about being able to relate to nature as it is about science. Thus, attributing a person to having this or that type of intelligence is simply about stating which type is the most prominent against the overall array of intelligences in any given person. This reflects how much human intelligence actually encompasses, and thus how difficult it is to mimic, and why traditional IQ assessments lack comprehensiveness. So far, data scientists have concentrated on mimicking the computational and analytical powers of the brain quite successfully. But whenever specific research falls at an intersection of several intelligences, it might meet roadblocks. This is caused by the fact that, as a rule, one neural network can be tailored to performing one narrow task, and not their combination. One of the fundamental problems with intelligence is that no single definition has yet been determined. The one given above is just one of the many existing versions. Needless to say, assessing something that hasn't been universally defined is a tough task. In 1950, to assess artificial intelligence, Alan Turing proposed a workaround approach to this problem. The Turing test is essentially conducted by a human put in front of an interface with two chats, not knowing which chat has a chatbot and which has a human conducting the conversation. And the fact that this expert can't tell which is which would mean that the chatbot has passed. To illustrate the Turing test, we have talked to Mitsuko, a famous chatbot and a 5-time winner of the Loebner Prize. Let's see how human-like this interaction is. Obviously, the amount of ways this conversation could have gone is infinite. And at times, it does feel quite organic. But this particular example illustrates that even the most cutting-edge ML tech is still far away from actually mimicking human intelligence in its wider sense. Moving on, the next part of the syllabus concentrates on AI history. This part takes us back to when the term AI appeared and contains a brief explanation of why at some moments AI hibernated and when and due to which factors it regained explosive growth. So, the 1940s to the 1950s. We owe the appearance of artificial intelligence to two scientists, Marvin Lee Minsky and Frank Rosenblatt. In 1958, Frank Rosenblatt proposed the perceptron model, the precursor of the modern neural networks. At the same time, other data scientists laid the groundwork for automatic deduction techniques based on mathematical logic. 1960 to early 1980s. As the work in both directions continued throughout the next 2 decades, scientists started to realize the limitations of both technologies. These included the need for more computing power and the difficulty in formalizing general knowledge. 1980s to the early 2000s saw the first success and subsequent decline of knowledge-based systems and symbolic formalization of cognitive reasoning. Unsuccessful industry applications led to a decrease in industry investments from the 1990s onwards. In the meantime, mathematical models based on probabilistic reasoning started being integrated into sub-symbolic AI algorithms. This led to many new techniques and research prototypes. Since the beginning of the 2010s, the success of machine learning techniques, the availability of large volumes of diverse data and computing power have accelerated the investments in AI and increased the numbers of its applications. These include business and data analysis, robotics, medicine, video games, automotive industry, logistics, and many others. And this is also the stage at which we are now. So today we've looked into the history of AI, tried to define what AI is compared to human intelligence, and talked about one way to assess AI, that being a Turing test. This concludes today's video and part 1 of the first chapter review of A4Q's AI and Software Testing certification. In the next episode, we will concentrate on the difference between symbolic and sub-symbolic AI. We'll look at some ML algorithms in more detail and review applications and limits of AI. We do have loads more interesting content for you. Feel free to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to the ExactPro channel. Remember to hit the bell button to be the first to see all the new videos. You can also follow us on social media to be on top of all the updates. See you soon!